This is Eugene Panrudkevich. I'm the laptop screen doc, and the name of the website is www.screensurgeons.com. Today we have a ASUS X401A laptop computer with a cracked screen, and we're going to show you how to replace a cracked screen on an ASUS X401A laptop computer. Before we do anything with this or any other laptop computer, we want to make sure that the laptop is safe to work on, and that means removing the battery. So in order to remove the battery, we flip the laptop over. Right above the battery, there's two levers. We slide both of those inward, and we pull the battery out. And now the laptop is safe to work on. And while we're on the bottom, I'll show you where to find the model number for this laptop. There's a sticker right above the Windows sticker, and it says Model X401A. And that's where you find the model number. Also, there's a sticker right above the battery that says X401A also. Okay, we flip the laptop back over again. And before we start work, we're going to show you the tools that we're going to use for this job. We have a PH1 electronics screwdriver. PH stands for Phillips and 1 is the size. We have a PH00 electronic screwdriver. That's for smaller screws. A 2mm flathead screwdriver. That's to pry things open if needed. A pair of metal tweezers to manipulate cables or to remove any screws that may be stuck. And an X-Acto knife or a hobby knife to lift up screw covers. And one additional tool, quote unquote, that we're going to use for this procedure is a blow dryer, and that's to loosen up the adhesive around the screen bezel, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to remove the screen bezel, the plastic frame that goes around the screen. And in order to do that, we first have to remove two screws at the bottom, and they're mounted, they're shown right here, and they're hidden pretty well for this laptop. They're hiding behind some plastic screw covers. So let's get started. We're going to use our hobby knife to lift up the screw covers, like so, and then the screw is exposed, and the screw covers, I like to put them right next to the screw opening so I don't lose them. That's one. And two. We have the two screws exposed. The next thing we're going to do is use our PH1 screwdriver to remove the two screws. One and two. And for each set of screws, I like to keep them in a separate pile in the order in which I remove them. So when I put the laptop back together, I know which screws go where. Okay, the next step is this screen bezel has some pretty strong adhesive that's attaching it to the screen assembly. So in this case, what I like to do is take a hairdryer, a blow dryer, put it on the low setting, and just run it for a few minutes around the bezel. So here I'm just going to do it for a few seconds, but at home you can do it for a few minutes to loosen up the adhesive. Okay, like I said, I did it for a few seconds. So this bezel might be a little bit tougher for me to remove than for others, but it's coming off okay. So what we do is put our fingertips on the screen side and gently start lifting up and pulling outward and upward. So like so, and we work our way around the screen bezel. Okay, and in retrospect, working on the screen bezel, you really don't need the blow dryer. So forget the blow dryer. Just go without the blow dryer because there's no adhesive. I thought there was adhesive because it was tough to open, but there isn't. So work around the screen until you get to the end. And for the bottom, we have to do a special trick here. You flip the laptop over on the bottom, and you use your 2mm screwdriver to pry open the bezel at the seam on the bottom, like so. And then also, we can use our screwdriver, the 2mm screwdriver, to lift up the hinge openings, like so. And then the laptop is now, the bezel is now, can now be easily removed, like so. Okay, once the bezel is removed, what we want to do is take a look at the screen assembly. For this type of screen, it's called a slim screen. It's mounted to the back of the screen assembly with 2 screws at the top and 2 screws at the bottom. So for this type of screw, we're going to use our PH00 screwdriver and to remove 2 screws at the top and 2 at the bottom. So we're going to get started. And once again, I'm going to start a separate pile for these screws. Okay, 3 and 4. And then we put these screws to the side. When you're doing this step, make sure that the screen assembly is tilted back a little bit so that the screen doesn't fall forward on you when you remove all 4 screws. Once we remove the screws, we gently start tilting the screen forward, like so, and put the screen down. Alright, for this type of screen, there's only one connector that we have to remove and the screen will be free from the laptop. In order to do this, we use our X-Acto knife to loosen up a corner of the adhesive tape that's holding the connector together. And then with our fingertips, lift up this adhesive tape and pull it back. Once we do that, we just pull the video cable of the connector back from the screen and the connector comes off like this. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to reconnect the connector to show you how to reconnect it. So when you reconnect it, you slide the connector in and you'll feel but not hear 2 clicks. This one's and you feel but not hear 2 clicks. And if we get a close-up look at the connection, and hopefully get a good focus right there. Okay, pause the video right there. There should not be a gap in the seam between the 2 sides of the connection. The 2 sides of the connection should be flush with each other. Okay, we pull the connector out once more, and we take a look at this screen. This is a 14.0 LED slim screen. And let's look at the model number that we're going to look up. The model number that you're going to be looking up is N140B6-L06. N140B6-L06. Now when you do get the screen in, the model number that you'll get will probably most likely be different, but the screen will look exactly the same with the connector being in the same place and the mounting tabs being in the same place also. Now you can order this screen from us, from Screen Surgeons also, and what we give you is a compatibility guarantee. So we guarantee that the screen will ship you will be compatible with your laptop, or we will replace it at no charge. We also have free email technical support. So if you have any problems during the installation, send us an email. We'll help you walk you through it. And the exact same toolkit that I used in the video, it comes for free with the screen, so you don't need to buy any more tools, and you don't need the blow dryer. Forget about the blow dryer. So these tools come for free with the screen, and we have a 2-year warranty on the screen. And finally, we ship from warehouses both on the East Coast and West Coast, so even if you order ground shipping, your screen will arrive in 3 days or less. And if you live outside the United States, we can ship to most countries. Just follow the regular checkout procedure. To buy this screen from us, please go to www.screensurgeons.com. There will be a short form for you to fill out with the laptop model, and then we'll guide you to the right screen to buy online, and then just go through the checkout procedure. Once you do get the screen in, connect the connector as I showed you, mount the screen in the screen assembly, put the 2 screws in at the top and 2 screws in at the bottom. Then snap the screen bezel back on. Make sure work your way around the seam. Make sure it's snapped in. Put the 2 screws in at the bottom and the screw covers, and you should be done. Okay, and that's it. Once again, my name is Eugene Panrutovich. I'm the laptop screen doc, and the name of the website is www.screensurgeons.com. Thank you very much, and good luck.